You may have heard of medical marijuana being used to treat anxiety and PTSD, but what about psychedelic substances? They have street names like ecstasy and magic mushrooms, but as ABC 15's Jamie Warren shows us, we could be getting one step closer to having them approved and regulated by the federal government.
I was always waiting for something bad to happen at all times, which is, as you can imagine, very exhausting.
Lori Tipton says that fear and anxiety came from a traumatic past. Growing up, she says her mother was bipolar. Her brother overdosed at the age of 22.
My mother, obviously having had mental problems in the past, she murdered 2 people and herself. And when I couldn't reach her on the telephone, I went to her home, and that's when I discovered the bodies of those people.
Tipton says more terrible events followed. While living in New Orleans, Hurricane Katrina hit, and then an encounter with someone she called a friend.
I was raped by him and became pregnant, and then had an abortion.
She says she tried therapy and medications.
They never got to the core of my trauma.
Until she underwent a 12-week trial approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration in a controlled environment, and while being evaluated by medical professionals, Tipton says she took MDMA, its street name ecstasy.
So you're able to delve into these potentially very traumatic memories without having that fear and anxiety response that you would normally have through PTSD.
Tipton sharing her experiences at the Arizona Psychedelics Conference, a first for the state, where researchers talk about the future of using drugs that are currently illegal in the U.S. for treatment.
The legalization process for cannabis has really opened up the door to have some other discussions.
Denver attorney Brad Bartlett says he believes in our lifetime they'll become legal for medical purposes.
What that means is that you will be able to walk into a doctor's office and get a prescription for the use of psychedelic medicines.
For Tipton, she says if it weren't for the trial, it's possible she wouldn't be here.
I mean, it saved my life.
The association facilitating these studies is a nonprofit known as MAPS. They say after these trials are over, they anticipate the FDA legalizing MDMA, which would come in a pill form just like this for medical use within the next 2 years. Jamie Warren, ABC 15, Arizona.